So for many of us, tomorrow is the day that we've waited so long for here, especially in Ireland. Tomorrow is the day that the gyms reopen. For some of us, that's been more than 6 months in the coming, so we're really looking forward to it. I thought I'd take this opportunity to jump on here and just talk you through my top tips for returning to the gym or maybe starting the gym for the first time. So have a listen, you might pick up something even if you're an experienced gym user. I suppose the first thing is have a plan in place before you even walk through the door. What are you going to do when you show up at the gym tomorrow, okay? Especially if it's not a class or not a PT session, if you're just walking in there either for the first time or for the first time in a long time, all right? Have a plan in place. What's the warm-up going to consist of, okay? It's an upper body, lower body split. What are you going to do? Maybe have a look at that, put a plan to get it together before you even walk through the door. Okay, my next tip, moving quickly on, a decent warm-up, okay? Have a good mobility warm-up. What that means is make sure that your body can move in the way you want it to do, okay? There's no point being like really strong and not being able to move efficiently, not being able to touch your toes, not being able to move to your left or your right, okay? Do simple everyday tasks around the house, even though you might be built like a beast. So have a good mobility warm-up. Get down onto the mat, give yourself a decent stretch out, 5, 6, 7, 10 minutes, whatever you think, okay? My next tip, a lot of us have had to adapt during the lockdown. Okay, maybe we haven't had exercise or access to equipment, so we've adapted. We maybe have taken up walking, cycling, running, whatever it might be. So maybe think, could you possibly include some of your lockdown activities into your workout, or maybe on your days off, keep up those activities, be it running, cycling, whatever it might be. Keep up those activities. Don't drop them now. Maybe they've got you through this past 6 months, have helped your head. Can you incorporate them or can you use them in your days off? Moving on to my next tip. Okay, and this really applies to people going back who are experienced gym users. Forget the weight. Focus on the technique, okay? I would advise, it's been 6 months for most of us, drop your weights by 50%, okay? You might think, geez, 50%? I would say drop by 50%, check your technique, especially if you're starting for the first time too. Technique over weight every time. Drop the weight by 50%, nail the technique, and then you can rebuild. Might take a week, might take 2 weeks, hey, it might take the second set, but rather be safe than sorry, okay? Drop those weights. Moving on then. For any of you doing plyometric type movements, rapid jumping type movements, explosive movements, I would ease myself back into those, okay? If you finished off 6 months ago, including plyos into your regular training routine, I would just ease off on those for a few weeks until your ligaments, tendons, everything gets used to it, okay? So don't go straight into plyometric type movements. I wouldn't do that, okay? Now, thinking outside the gym, sleep and nutrition, hugely important. Okay, if those two are not on point, you will not achieve your goals. It's as simple as that. Sleep, the best form of recovery. Doesn't matter what shakes you take, recovery drinks, whatever you take, multivitamins, sleep is the one that's going to get you where you want. So make sure that that's on point. And then nutrition. What's the point in going to the gym, doing all this hard work or putting in all this effort if your nutrition is not on point? And make sure it's aligned with your goals, whatever your goals might be it fat loss, muscle gain, high protein diet, whatever the course is or whatever stage you're at, whatever your journey is. Make sure sleep and make sure nutrition are part and as important a part of your journey. Okay, as I said, make sure the nutrition is in line with your goals. All right. Going back to the gym for the first time or restarting the gym, I would allow at least 48 hours between each session. Okay, so what that basically means is no more than 3 times a week for the first couple of weeks. Okay, you're going to get the DOMS, that's delayed onset of muscle soreness. That can actually take up to 72 hours to kick in. Giving yourself that 48 hours is going to allow the muscles to heal, the muscle fibers that have been torn whenever don't worry about that, whenever you're training and lifting under tension. Just gives your muscles time to recover. So I would go for at least 48 hours between sessions if at all possible. Okay, take care of the soreness, plenty of heat, hot showers, you'll be okay. And probably my last and most important tip, especially if you're new, okay, if you walk into a gym and you're daunted and maybe it's not a PT session, it's not a class, you're just walking in there and you're really unsure, ask for help. Go to the guy behind the counter, okay, because he has to be qualified to hold down that position. All right, don't just ask randomly somebody to your left or somebody to your right. How do you do that? Go to a staff member, a qualified gym staff member. Doesn't have to be a PT session, but if you ask them, say, could you give me a few pointers or a few guidelines? Listen, 99.9% of the time they're going to help you out. They're going to steer you in the right direction, especially if you're unsure. All right, listen. The day has arrived, the eve has arrived. Best of luck to all gym owners across Ireland and hey, around the world, because we're all in the same position here. Best of luck to each and every single one of you. Get your goals, work towards them, don't look back.